Hey gang, so this is week 1 of a 5-week installment looking at how to build incredible fundraising offers. Now, an offer should be used in all the things you do, not just a direct mail appeal. So it should be used in your letters, your phone calls, your emails, your events. What is the benefit of a good offer? Well, it's going to be fourfold. So number 1, it will instantly lift your fundraising activities. So you don't need to create a new initiative, a new campaign. All you need to do is create a strong offer and it will lift your results. Now, inherently built into a good offer is that it will, 1, increase the gift size of your donor. It will also increase response rates if you're doing anything direct response. And then number 4, if done correctly, it can increase your overall operating revenue while still giving the donor something they can cling to, something that they know that they've done. So week 1, we're going to talk about, just kind of the basics of a good or bad offer. We're also going to talk about deadlines. And then after that, we'll talk about problems. That'll be week 2. And then the solution, week 3. And then a price point, week 4. And then week 5, how to leverage offers while raising undesignated funding. So that's how this is going to go. A good question to ask is, what is an offer, just generally speaking? An offer is the promise you make to your donors about what their money, what their gift is going to do now. Now, most nonprofits, they either do 1 or 2 versions of an offer. Version number 1 is they take all the projects that they have, all the things they do, they smash it into a couple sentences and they say, hey, would you please join us and give? That's not a good offer. I'll tell you why later, but number 2, they'll take all the things they do and they'll summarize what they do into values and feelings, and they'll say, hey, would you please give hope and a bright future through your gift? Both of those are bad offers, and I'll explain why, and you'll understand perfectly at the end of these 5 weeks. But just for starters, you don't want to summarize your projects and make them your offer, and you don't want to summarize the feelings and values and things that you give and make that your offer. Those are very poor offers. So let's look at United Way's offer. Now, your offer is going to look different based on where it's placed, whether it's on a website, donation page, an appeal. But let's just look at their homepage. It says improve lives and strengthen communities, and then there's a link to give today to create opportunities. This is an offer, but it's a bad offer. Let's talk about why real quick. It lacks specificity, lacks clarity, it's conceptual. What's the problem? What's the solution? Is there a price point and is there urgency? Now, I know I'm picking on the homepage, but you see what I'm saying? Let's go to their donation page. It says this: when you donate to United Way, you are helping children succeed in school, helping adults get good paying jobs, increasing access. You don't want to give access, by the way, it's not guaranteed. Increase access to health services for individuals across the world and more. Your donation to United Way, blah, 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 will be directed toward where needed most. So it has specificity. We know exactly what our gift is doing. Now, it's doubtful a $10 gift is all of that. However, it's still specific, and it gives them undesignated funding. What would be better than United Way's very, very lengthy offer on the donation page? It would be to create an offer that the donor could say yes to within 5 seconds of just skimming it. Get an immediate yes. You might have 10 programs, okay? But you're going to find out with time which programs your donors are most excited about. And it's going to vary, based on size. So major donors might be excited about a specific project. And that's the project you talk about when you are creating an offer in a one-to-one conversation. But just because you have 10 programs doesn't mean you need to talk about all 10 programs, and you shouldn't. So let me just give you an example from my own work. One of my clients over Christmas had a 500% increase in their results for their year-end campaign, and a lot of what we did was just refine the offer. Something else about a good offer is it can literally be evergreen. You can change it based on the seasons, but it's the offer you can use again and again. Stephen Screen says that an offer is an asset. And it is. It's something that you can use throughout the year at different times. And one of the best examples would be a rescue mission or someone who gives food to homeless people. It would be, give $1 to give 1 meal for Christmas time. Give $1 to give a meal at Easter. Give $1 to give a meal for Mother's Day. It's an evergreen offer. It is an asset that you can use year long. Now, not all nonprofits are going to have a strong offer they can use as an asset. However, I want you to understand the value of a good offer. Again, when we're talking about a split in your fundraising, it's going to be 40% offer, 40% list, and 20% creative. Oh boy. Now let's get into deadlines and urgency and reasons to give now. Okay, so Jeff Brooks has said your donor can say yes, yes, yes to your entire offer, but if there is no urgency, it's very unlikely you're going to get the gift. You've got to have deadlines. You've got to have urgency. You have to have consequences of not giving, and you need to encourage them to give now. One of the worst things you can say is send in your money whenever. We're doing good, which is a lot of what you guys are saying. You're sending out, appeals saying we're doing great. Here's the great work. Give a gift. You're literally saying we don't need your money. You do. Whether or not it's urgent to you at this moment, you have to create a sense of it's important to give now. Now you can do this through various means. That's why matches are very compelling because there's always an end date to the match. That's why year end is very powerful because we have a hard, fast deadline. There also might be limiting variables. So like if they don't give, the forest is going to die. If they don't give, the ocean is going to be totally polluted. So why projects work well, there's always going to be a deadline by which you need to raise the funds. Now here is the deal. An arbitrary deadline works too. If you don't have a deadline, you've got to make up one. Now, it's not crying wolf because you are helping your donor bring about the good in the world they want to see. And we know from marketing, you've got to have a deadline. That's why they have, like offer expires by tonight. That's why they have deals and BOGOs. So, you got to make one up. Now, how do you make one up without feeling like you're lying? Well, if you can tie the deadline to your donor's values and goals, that's great. You can also just pick a date 4 to 6 weeks after the date that your campaign starts. So that is what I would recommend. Now, the deadline can't be too far out because the donor won't act. An offer that's set too soon will increase response rate initially, but then you can't fundraise once that date has passed. So it's very important to pick a deadline, that's 4 to 6 weeks out, even longer, if you're doing a capital campaign, but put time into that. But again, you've got to pick a deadline. Now, one of the things that can help you with this is giving multiple reasons to give. It's not enough to say you're going to get a tax benefit. We already know that people don't really give for the tax benefit, or the majority of them don't, but that is a benefit. So let's say you're raising funds for, saving the oceans. You want to give multiple reasons to give now. So, give today so you can save a dolphin before it dies. Give today, this need is urgent. If you don't act, then the oceans will be polluted and everything's going to die. You can give individual stories that create urgency. You can talk about the entire need with urgency, but give multiple reasons to give today. Matches, give today because we've got a match. Those are reasons to give today, and you want to combine all the reasons. So again, multiple reasons to give today is going to serve you well. Always have a deadline. It can be arbitrary and you can do it ethically. Always best if you can tie that deadline to something that the donor cares about. Let's real quickly talk about the marketing space. Bill has said that marketing begins when the customer says yes. Think about it. You go into a store, you put the product in your hands, you say, yes, I want it. But you got to travel from that spot all the way to the cashier, take out your wallet, have the credit card working and ready, and then buy it and bring it out. So you need to remember, even if the offer is good and it aligns with what your donor wants to do, it's not enough. You have to have a deadline, urgency, a reason to act now. I was looking at the SoFi website and they had one article and they told a story of a retailer who, a product wasn't selling. So what they did was they put a table out, put the product on there. They said limit 2 per customer and it all sold out. So, it always feels a little sleazy to talk about how to create urgency in your fundraising. But when you look at it like a science, the way it is, you're able to do it and leverage it appropriately to help your donors do the good they want to do in the world and so that you can help your beneficiaries. They can help them through you. Okay, so that's that. Next week, we will talk about problems. A problem singular for your offers. Just so you know, my name is Danielle Wallace. I am the owner of Grow Better. I help small to mid-sized nonprofits optimize their fundraising results. If you are in need of, let's say you've got big projects coming up, you've got to raise more capital, you're having issues with retaining donors, you need new donors, book a discovery call with me. Would love to meet you and we'll go from there.